Can someone please explain to me why people think it's perfectly okay to come to Thailand and break the law? What is it about Thailand that makes every single person that comes here think that it's either like the Wild Wild West or it's just a complete free-for-all? What is it about themselves, not about Thailand? What is it about themselves that make them think that they're entitled to come here and act any way they want to? Or can you explain to me how people who spend every single waking moment on their phone don't know how to use Google to check certain things, like what drugs can or can you not bring to Thailand? What drugs are illegal in Thailand? Will I go to jail if I go to an illegal pharmacy and I buy a narcotic or a controlled substance? It absolutely blows my mind when I watch garbage like this, especially in episode 1 of the lovely lady who wound up being arrested for buying Xanax in Thailand. She knew that Xanax was illegal. One of her friends said, "Oh, we can get Xanax at this pharmacy," knowing full well that you have to go in and they're going to sell you something under the counter. Now, do not tell me that you're going in and buying, you know that you can't buy a prescription drug without a prescription. If you're that stupid, you probably shouldn't be traveling in the first place, okay? And in the documentary, the so-called whatever you want to call her, she's trying to make it as though the pharmacy offered it to them right away. I don't believe that for a minute, because I've been in pharmacies. I've asked for different things to see whether or not I could get it, et cetera, et cetera. And there's no way that woman was offered Xanax right off the hop, like they claim in the video. Not only that picture that shows the counter and stuff, making it seem as though the Xanax was like right on the counter. It's a bullshit, okay? They knew when they went into that pharmacy that what they were buying was a controlled substance. They knew it. They did not go to a clinic. They did not get diagnosed, which you can do for stuff like Xanax. Now, Xanax is a controlled substance here in Thailand. This is absolute bullshit, okay? This whole victim thing where we have criminals. At the end of the day, if you go and you try to buy a controlled substance, as far as I'm concerned, you're a criminal, okay? It's no different than someone going down to Bangla Road or Khao San Road and buying heroin. You know that it's illegal, and if you get caught with it, guess what? Yeah, you're going to be arrested, and you're probably going to do some jail time. Now, luckily enough for this lady, in the end, it turned out that she got a 113-pound fine, which is what, around 135, 140 US dollars, whatever. She did have to spend months and months and months in Thailand because she was, at the end of the day, she broke the fucking law. And again, I don't understand why so many people think it's fully acceptable to come here to Thailand and break the fucking law when you know that it's illegal. If you have to go in and ask whether or not they have, come on. Really? Are you that naive? Anytime I travel to a country, if there's something that I really need to know and I think is important, I'm going to do a Google search on it to make sure, okay, prime example, I'm going to Vietnam next month. And I was told by someone that you can't fly drones there. So I did. I went and I did some research. I learned everything about it. Going to China, I know what medications I can bring to China and what medications I can't bring to China. And these people who obviously are, tech savvy, they're on their phones. How do you not know how to do a Google search? This whole victimhood thing is just beyond belief. I remember an example here in China about 7 or 8 years ago. There was a Canadian who the Chinese government was going to put to death because they got caught smuggling drugs into China. Everyone's like, oh, it's terrible. They're killing Canadians. No, they're killing fucking drug dealers. At the end of the day, they're killing a drug smuggler. Now, this same person was caught in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And the judge said to him when he was sentencing him years ago that one day you're going to get caught smuggling in the wrong country. And that's exactly what happened to him. Do I have any sympathy for him? No. You're a drug smuggler. Do I have any sympathy for anyone in Thailand who gets caught buying a controlled substance? Nope, not at all, because you damn well knew it was wrong. Now, I will say this much, okay? This video series is a farce and it's a joke, because what this presenter, again, whatever you want to call her, is doing is she's throwing out some really good, intelligent things, and then she's hooking you at the end with these absolute elaborate bullshit things. Like in episode 1 where she says that, oh, what she's learned so far makes her scared to go to Thailand. No, if you come to Thailand and you're not an idiot and you're not looking for underage sex, or you're not looking for drugs that you shouldn't be having because they're controlled substances, and you damn well know that they're controlled substances, you're not going to end up in the situation that Shakira found herself in. You're not going to find it. You know, throughout the video, she talks about how, oh, people have to, you know, be responsible for themselves. Like when they're up in Copenhagen at the Half Moon Party. And you know what? That made sense. Yes, I think she made it sound as though it's this crazy, dangerous thing, when it's not. It's just a bunch of foreigners and tourists and expats acting like absolute drunk idiots. When she talks about down on Phuket, about the driving and stuff, and about how, oh, well, do expats know that you're not supposed to wear a helmet? There's thousands of videos online about, yes, you have to wear a helmet. There's thousands of videos online about, yes, you have to have a driver's license. Do a Google search about it to find out whether or not you have to wear a helmet. Do not put someone on there, and I feel so horrific for that girl, absolutely beautiful, who got, you know, her face all messed up. What a shame for that girl. At the end of the day, she admits she's drunk, she's on a bike, probably shouldn't have been, etc., etc. She didn't know who was driving. You know, I've done videos about that lovely, beautiful nurse in the States who lost almost her full face because she wasn't wearing a helmet. Hey guys, listen, I'm really sorry to cut in here, but I did want to point out the fact that I did make a mistake in this video. And unlike the BBC and a lot of people, I can admit when I have made a mistake. And the nurse that I'm referencing in the United States, she actually was wearing a helmet. It was not a full face helmet, which I have advocated for in all of my motorcycle videos. I definitely think anyone that's coming here should be wearing a full face helmet. So please understand that the nurse that I'm referring to, she did have a helmet on. I apologize for that error. Let's get back to the show. If you're dumb enough to get on a motorbike, especially in a place like Thailand where driving is crazy, you've had some drink and you're not wearing a helmet, I'm sorry, you're dumb as shit. Don't blame booze for it, because I drink and I don't drive. I'm always wearing a helmet anywhere I go. Don't blame it on the booze. There's a lot in that series, the first episode, that I'm not going to touch on. I'm not going to touch on the gentleman who passed away down here. I will say this much. Whoever told that man's sister that Patong Beach is incredibly violent at nighttime, I'm sorry, dear, they lied to you. That's an absolute lie. I have been on Patong Beach probably 200 or 300 nights. And I've never seen any violence on Patong Beach. Yes, I've seen a lot of shit going down on Bangla Road, where you've got a bunch of drunk, idiot tourists and stuff acting like idiots. Never down on the beach. Typically what you have down on the beach is you've got couples, you've got groups of Thai people sitting around having picnics. You've got people like me sitting down there with their friends having... I've never seen any violence on Patong Beach at nighttime. Doesn't matter how late it is. And as far as people not being able to answer or tell you what happened, most people just, we don't pay attention to what's going on. We don't care. Unless it affects us, we're not watching it, we don't care. So that narrative that Patong Beach is dangerous, that you're going to come here and you're going to end up in jail because of drugs and all the, you won't know what's happening, you're going to be a victim. No, if you come down here looking for illegal drugs and you buy them and you get caught with them, yep, guess what? You're going to be arrested. And again, luckily for her, she didn't have to do real jail time. But if you're going to come around, you're going to find out. Myself, again, I make sure when I'm going to a country what I can do there and what I can't do there, what I should take and what I can't take. And if there's something that I should not take I'm not going to take it. I'm also not going to go to another country and feel as though I'm entitled to break the law and then pretend like I'm a victim after I get caught breaking the law. Again, It's like I said in my last video about this. If you haven't seen that one, link in the description below. People that come to Thailand that find themselves in trouble, 99% of the time are looking for trouble. And if you go out looking for illicit drugs, you're going to get yourself in trouble. End of story. That does not make Thailand a dangerous place or a scary place that you should really think twice about visiting. No, you should think twice about being an absolute idiot in life, okay? Till next time, guys, that's it for today. As you can see, I'm really worked up about this whole series, and I know I'm going to hammer away at it over the next week or so, but I want to cover every single thing that this influencer talks about in the video. And if I did that in one video, I'd be 6 or 7 hours going on. This is absolute crap. It's just, what a joke. I cannot believe it. And I will say this really quick. For all of the influencers that were reached out to and asked to participate in this, why didn't you? All you had to do was say, yes, you know what? I'm a little leery about BBC and mainstream media, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do your interview, but I'm also going to film it at the same time so that I have proof of what I said, so that you could have gone and said, oh no, I didn't say that, or it was taken out of context, etc., etc. You had the opportunity to defend Thailand, the country that you profess to love, and you didn't. I will say this much, episode 1, I will get to everything later on, but Dave, cheers for you, guy, for at least appearing on the show and trying to show something. Again, till next time, guys, that's it. Yeah, this is...